How you doing, YouTube? Simon here, 741. Today I want to do a video of dehydrating, and because I'm planning to do the coast to coast this time next year, so we're looking at April. I want to dehydrate my own food after the walk in the West Highland Way and having to eat meals that I didn't like, or specifically I hadn't prepared. I'm able to do that. I'm able to prepare my own meals and dehydrate them and take what I want as food, and the amounts as well, the amount of food I can take. So the bit of kit that I'm using, and I've had this for quite some time now, it's the Charles Jacobs food dehydrator. And it's got 5 trays. I mean, there are better ones out there, but this was about £30, I think. I can't exactly remember, off Amazon. What I've done is, I'll just drop you down a bit. I've cleaned the trays on the dehydrator, because you've got to make sure that it's clean and there's no bacteria, otherwise that's just going to send your food off. I need to plug it in and get it up to temperature, and because what I'm dehydrating is an Asda tin of beef madras, because I quite like this, and a packet of rice, the microwave rice, because obviously I don't want to carry a tin in my pack, and I've dehydrated these together before, and they're brilliant, they're fantastic. So I think you put it on about 60 to 70, because it's meat, and whack it on to dry. But as you can see from this tray, I've lined it with greaseproof paper, and all you do is just lay it down on the roll, draw around the centre hole, cut it all out, and what that does is it stops your foods, whatever you're going to dehydrate, from obviously falling through the holes. And this dehydrates quite well, quite quickly. I was looking at doing 2 meals, but because I'm going to use this whole meal when I go wild camping on Friday, it's now, what day is it today? Monday. So I'm going to dehydrate, I'm going to eat all of this. But when I'm looking at doing the coast to coast, I'm just going to halve it, because last time I wasn't hungry doing the West Highland Way. So I reckon half of that. And there is a way of working out how much water to add once it's been dehydrated. And what you do is you weigh the contents before it goes in the dehydrator. And then so you weigh it before and after. And the difference in grams is how much water to add in millilitres, and that's worked quite well. So I'll just show you knocking it up and spreading it on the trays. I just need that to dry up, but I want that top tray on the bottom. So this is how easy it is. I mean, if you haven't got a dehydrator already, I would highly recommend in buying one, because I've seen videos on YouTube of other people sticking it in their oven with the oven door open, and you know what, it's just a waste of time. Pay that little bit extra money and it's easier. So I've added the contents of the can, and now I'm just going to put in microwavable rice. It's just gone all over the countertop, the worktop. And then we're going to heat it up and cook it through. But I don't want to be using a metal spoon. So I'm not going to put you through the pain of watching this cook. So once it's cooked through and warmed up, we'll weigh it, so you'll be able to see what it weighs before and after and how effective this is. And I'll just leave this running overnight. But what I will say is that the smell of the food will just fill your whole house. So I would think second thoughts about dehydrating anything strong like onions, garlic, anything like that, because your house will stink. Because obviously it's gently blowing warm air through your food into the surrounding area. But it is worth it. It is worth it. I mean, this is probably the strongest smelling thing that I'll cook. I'm going to do a chili con carne. I did look at dehydrating corn sausages, because obviously fat doesn't dehydrate. It just spoils your food. So corn, obviously being fat-free, sausages, it dehydrated really well. But when it comes to rehydrating and tasting it, it was just rank. I just couldn't eat it. So I didn't bother doing that. So I'm going to go back to porridge oats for breakfast, which is still lightweight, or even ready break. I haven't decided yet. But this will be specifically for camping Friday night. I've changed my mind. I did say I was going to dehydrate the whole lot, but looking at it, the way I'm going to rehydrate this is in my jet boil, and I think all this food is going to be too much to fit in my jet boil. So that's pretty much cooked through now. The scales are set at 0. I don't know if you can see that. And what I'll have to do is weigh it all out in a oneer, and then divide it up over 2 trays, which will give me 2 meals, obviously. Okay. So that's coming in at 594 grams. I need to halve that. So 594 grams divided by 2 is 297. So excuse my phone going off there. I am going to divide, obviously, that between the 2 trays. Try and keep in the heat in the dehydrator. And I need a spoon. So what are we on? 297. Okay, it's not rocket science, but you want to 297, spot on. So you spread it around your drying trays equally, obviously, because you want it all to dry about the same time. And as I say, I'll leave this overnight with no problems whatsoever. So I've done it before and it works. And if it works, why change it? So I'll spread these out. And it's important to make a record of what it weighs. It weighs before, so obviously you can work out after how much water to add. And this is quite a spicy one, and I quite like it, and I end up having hiccups when I'm eating it, because I always get hiccups when I eat spicy food. So I'm rushing this just for the sake of the camera. Now I have had this quite a while, as I said, the dehydrator, and what I quite like making in it is biltong, and it's fantastic. Strips of beef or strips of meat dehydrated, and you add, you know, the herbs and spices, and the family love it, they lap it up. So it's a bit of kit. I'm really getting a lot of use out of them, that I was happy to pay, what, 30 quid? You can get more expensive ones, Excaliburs and stuff like that, but I don't see the point. You know, I'm not a prepper, so I'm not going to dehydrate everything that's in the house. So if the end of the world occurs, then You know what I mean? How long are you going to last for on dehydrated food? It's going to run out at some point. But anyway, I'm waffling on. So there's 2 trays, equal weight, 2 meals. And these trays sit on the bottom of the dehydrator. And as the night goes on, what they tend to say is to twist it, to swap the trays over so they both get even, the air flow evenly between the 2 trays. So that's it, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's it. So I'll bring you back once I've dehydrated it, and we'll do a weigh-in, and you'll see the difference in volume and weight. It's brilliant. Catch you later. So welcome back. It's now the morning, and this has been left running overnight. So I'm going to turn it off, and that's what it looks like. Crunchy, brittle, all the moisture's been sucked out of it, and I haven't had to worry about it. I haven't had to worry about it overnight. I just let it run, and now we're gonna weigh it in. It's also good to let it cool down for a while before you put it into storage. You can freeze this once it's been dehydrated, and I've heard it'll keep for 12 months or longer because there's nothing in it, there's no moisture in it to affect it. Okay, so before we dehydrated it, it come in at 297 grams, and now it's reading 98 grams. So the difference between those two is how much water to add. So say 200 millilitres of water to add to rehydrate that. The way I store these is I just use roasting bags. So these are suitable for ovens, microwaves and freezers, and I've never had one of these leak yet, and I've used them quite a lot, and they're quite cheap. And all I do is just break this up. So it's really quite brittle. And there we go, that's one meal. And that's how much space it will take up in my food bag. Now comparing that to any other pre-packaged, shop-bought, dehydrated meal, I mean, you got the pouch, and okay, the pouch serves as a way of rehydrating it, but all I do is boil some water up in my jet boil, tip the water into there, roughly 200 millilitres, and then put the contents of this back into my jet boil and let it rehydrate for about 5-10 minutes, and that works really well. So we'll bag the other one up. It's still quite warm, so I'll leave the top off to let it cool down. So I'll do the other one, and I'll also knock up some proper meals, because these meals that I've done today aren't the healthiest. So I'll make up a chili con carne, some other recipes, but with plenty of vegetables in there to give me, vitamins and minerals along the coast to coast. So I hope you enjoyed that and you've got some out of it. I would recommend getting a hydrator if you're going to spend, X amount of pounds on buying dehydrated meals. Right, take care. God bless.